Hello, parents and carers. This is Mr. Ross here. I hope you're all well and keeping safe in these very unusual times. As I'm sure you're aware, unfortunately, we're unable to meet like normal for our parents' consultation evenings this academic year. So we have invited you all to participate in our very first virtual parents' consultation evening. The purpose of this video is just to explore how this will work and what you can expect your child's teacher to talk to you about during the session. Your child's teacher will be sending you a Zoom video link via email and text very shortly. Some of you may have, I'm sure, accessed Zoom on your phone before, or on a computer. So by sending you the link in these two ways, you can just simply click on the link on your preferred device to attend the meeting. Just to be aware that we just ask, as per usual, just to stick as best as you possibly can to your allocated 10-minute slot. We're also going to ask that prior to your actual slot that you just click the link 5 minutes beforehand, just so that you can join our virtual waiting room to help us keep things running as smoothly as possible on both parents' consultation evening days. If you've never used Zoom before, we ask you that you either download the app on a mobile phone via the App Store or the Google Play Store if you intend to view the video session on your phone. Or if you intend on using Zoom via a computer, then once you click this link that I'm about to share in a second, you just need to install the Zoom software, and all of these Zoom apps or the software are free to download. Once you click this link, you'll be taken to the Zoom website. If you have downloaded the software before, you won't see the next stage. But if you haven't, it will prompt you, as just mentioned, just to download the free Zoom software. I actually haven't used Zoom on this laptop before, so even though it gives me the option to launch meeting, it's not going to do anything. It's just going to prompt me to download the software, and that would just be clicked here. Once you've downloaded the software, you can just click launch meeting to get you to the next step in the process. Once that's all done, you will see a message similar to what you're seeing on the screen now, saying that you're just waiting for the host or the teacher to let you into the video session. As I said, it would really help us out over the next two parents' evening sessions if you were able to log in 5 minutes just beforehand, just so that we can let you into the meeting promptly on your time. Once that happens, the teacher will let you in at the allocated time. This demo meeting that I've set up is not actually a video call, but just to show you what it would roughly look like. Rather than seeing all this information on the screen, you should see the video of the teacher. And just in the bottom left-hand corner, just when it's on your end, just make sure that you are not muted. So there's not a red line that goes through that microphone so that the teacher can hear you. And in addition, just make sure that this red line is not where it says across the video. So where it says start video, you just want to make sure that that is clicked, just to make sure that the teacher is able to see you as well. One other thing that would really help us is, once creating a Zoom account, if you could either have that account in your child's name, or for example just showing the child's surname, it would just help us make sure that we are admitting the correct person for the appropriate session, rather than having names. For example, my name at the moment is participant ID because I haven't set up my account properly. So the teacher would be unaware of which person to let in next. So if you're able to change that, that would be, again, very helpful to us at school. Once the meeting is finished, we just kindly ask you if you just move the cursor or click your mobile phone screen and just press leave. That just enables us to continue our process of moving on to the next parent for the next session for the teachers, just to ensure that we can keep to time as best as possible. The last thing I wanted to draw your attention to are some graphs that your child's teacher may or may not refer to or show you during your meeting. You may be aware that, like most schools, every term we give children tests to complete to see the progress they are making and to check their understanding of areas of the curriculum. Due to national school closures, we were unable to do this in the summer term. Like many schools, including ours, We have actually given the pupils in our school the summer test that they missed, and we've used the information to help plan what the pupils will need next in their journey of learning. We have analysed the results of the tests, and using graphs we have created, we are now able to identify how a child compares with an average child of their age nationally at the moment, compare them to an average child in the year group at the moment, but most importantly, clearly see a child's strengths and areas of improvement in specific areas. Let's imagine this is a child's graph in year 4, for example. The orange section would indicate a child in year 4, an average child in year 4 up and down the country would score sort of, it looks like if the number would be out of 4 in a maths test, would score roughly 2. In calculations, they would score roughly just over half, so let's say 13. And fractions, decimals, and percentages, just about half, let's say 6 or 7. And in total, they might score approximately 23 as an example. Now, the year group here in our school suggests that on average, children in our year group are better than the national average when we would compare. But most importantly, looking at the child in particular, Jane Bloggs here, it'd be clear to see that they have good strengths in number and calculations. Potentially an area of development might be fractions, decimals, and percentages, but overall we'd say that this child clearly is doing very well. But as a result, from looking at the graph, we could clearly identify obviously strengths and weaknesses. I suppose, though we are able to make comparisons, we do want to make sure that we look at all pupils individually and making sure we're thinking about how we can address both strengths and weaknesses. Here's just one more example for English, and this is a reading test in particular. Again, let's imagine this is a year 5 class, for example. So we have the national average here this time is in blue. So on average, a child would score sort of these scores looking at the graph. In our school, the average child is better than the national average. But for this child in particular, what we need to focus on for this child is that they are a little bit lower than the national average for a child their age. They do have good strengths in when they're looking at sequencing, but this teacher would clearly be able to see and having conversations with yourself areas that we would want them to work on to improve in specific areas of reading. So just to give you sort of an understanding of graphs that your child's class teacher, I should say, may show you. Hopefully that all makes sense and you found the video useful. We're all very much looking forward to seeing you on our virtual parents consultation evenings. And just to make you aware, if there are, for example, any sort of technical difficulties during the video call, then please don't be offended, but we have instructed our class teachers just to get you to leave from the video call, and we will just call you on your mobile phone, for example, or at home, just to continue the conversation. Okay, see you all soon. Have a lovely day.